one and all, and welcome to the 182nd episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on May 2nd, 2022. On the podcast today, we have TikTok's resident card shark, Ryan Holtz.
I make TikToks for poker now.
Yeah.
It's a great life. The one that I thought would potentially get traction got the least traction, and the ones that are just me talking while I play a hand did better. I don't understand TikTok.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this on here. I had a stretch where I was making maybe one TikTok a day as I was reading through the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga. It's a crapshoot. Like, maybe videos where it has somebody ostensibly attractive as the snapshot, as the thumbnail, will do better. But it's just volume. You gotta keep putting shit out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, man. Shit's weird. I just want to buy a bunch of fake followers and then live stream. That's the way.
That's the goal, right? That's the end game for everyone.
I just need to. I feel like if I put like 10 or 15 videos up, then TikTok won't get mad at me when I buy a bunch of fake followers. Because you have to have 1,000 followers in order to be able to live stream on TikTok.
Oh, so you want to live stream on TikTok? You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep doing Twitch stuff.
Right. Simulcast, baby.
Oh.
Andrew, you have to
stream on both concurrently.
You have to have those parallel income sources.
Well, more just like TikTok is fantastic for discovery.
Oh, true.
Like I think that's a huge growth market. Yeah, it doesn't
you
necessarily do well income wise, but
you can be the next Lil Nas X.
I was just looking at the poker streams and they were dog shit. That's why I started doing it. People were A, not good at poker, and B, fucking just videotaping their TV or their monitor. And I was just like, that's not...
Who are they? The New York Times?
Yeah, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you don't know how to just fucking download OBS? Like, it's not a strenuous program to actually live stream your screen with any sort of quality. So then, yeah, I kind of looked into it and I was like, oh, this is doable. I don't know.
Rad. Also, I'm sorry, I was thinking about Andrew's introduction. It's a whole thing. I have to be in the right mind. I was like rehearsing in my mind, and I didn't give you the send-off you deserved for your intro, Ryan. I will do better next time.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Also on the podcast today, we have Andrew Clark, and you're going to want to see this. They're hacking the mainframe.
Speak English, Four Eyes.
They fucking are pussies.
Now you're speaking my language.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You caught me off guard. I was not ready.
This is just like a fucking Abbott and Costello routine that you guys do every time now. Still don't understand.
It's a Metal Gear Solid meme. Video reference.
It's a reference to a meme.
Yeah.
And a meme is a shared reference to something.
Yeah. Wait, what's a reference? Take me deeper.
What's a video game? What's media?
What is art?
What's expression?
What is humanity?
What's the id?
Ooh. Actually, a good question.
The one that's not the ego and superego, which still think they could have named those better.
Yeah, I think someone should psychoanalyze Freud's inability to come up with good names.
Yeah.
It's probably some fucked weird, like, deep cut Latin reference or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be with Freud.
Oh, yeah. He's probably being pretentious about it because he feels like he has to show off because he never got the love and respect he thought he deserved from his parents. I can do it too, Freud.
Both of them.
I don't... I think that there's an Oedipus and an Electra complex. Is there a name for a son who wants to have sex with his father or a daughter who wants to have sex with her mother?
Come up with it right now.
Well, because it's like Oedipus and Electra, it's so, yeah, like highfalutin. It should just be like, yeah, lame. Just like the
Tom complex.
Yeah, no, I was going to say like the Ashley complex. Like just like some random name that doesn't even connect to anything.
Also, last but not least, I am Lucas the Writer. And you know what? I thought I was being a supportive friend over the weekend when Andrew's fiance Jade posted a very flattering picture of him. I messaged her, "Hey, Andrew looks great in this. Good for locking that down." And then Andrew, half an hour later, posted a screenshot of Jade's post to Instagram to his own timeline. And I said to him...
That's a thing on Instagram. You can share someone's timeline to your timeline.
Okay.
I did not take a screenshot. I just shared her timeline to mine.
Andrew, I still believe that you look caked up in that pic, and I wish you were confident enough to accept that confident.
He messaged Jade that I was caked up.
You're
and then he
caked
messaged
up, bro.
me that I was caked up.
Be honest. You only shared that picture of yourself from Jade's timeline after you saw that, like, I had said that was a good picture of you.
I thought it was... No, I did not. It was definitely before.
Okay.
It was definitely
before. We have timestamps for this.
Yeah.
Like, there is a definitive answer here. Like, come on, y'all. There's no need to argue here. If it's worth arguing over, there are literal timestamps to all of this. We can solve this mystery.
Can you see? Because there's stories from a couple of days ago. Can we see?
Is it story or like your actual?
No, it was story.
It was story. Yeah, there's a lost of time. I think, at least on my phone.
That might be gone.
Oh well.
Y'all on like Instagram and shit still?
I am not on Instagram. I got a notification that Jade tagged me, and I thought it was a pretty good photo. So I shared it to my story.
A likely story.
You sent me the message. Am I able to see the picture in the message? Oh yeah, I am. Does it?
Isn't there like some shit with Instagram stories where you can like create a collection of old expired Instagram stories or some shit?
Okay.
Sure.
I replied to Jade posting that picture of you at 5:21 p.m. my time on Friday.
At what time? 5:21
p.m. And then
you sent
6:40.
Yeah, so an hour and 20 minutes
p.m.
later.
my time. I think that's long enough. With how often Jade's on Instagram, I feel like she saw the message I sent you. That triggered a reaction in you, and you thought, I can post this to my own now. I've received a compliment about it.
I posted it as soon as I got the notification that she tagged me in it. She tagged me in it, and then I said, "Oh, good photo," and then I reposted it to my timeline.
So, like, instantly when she posted the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have timestamps of when Jade posted the photo.
But then I would have...
There's no way that he commented on it before Jade posted the photo. That's kind of irrelevant.
Right.
But if you had posted it right after, I'm not on Instagram a ton, I would have seen both of you having had updated your stories. Unless you're saying...
At the very top.
I had managed to sneak that in between the brief window of time in which you had not posted your photo yet.
Did you just not see mine?
I
definitely posted it within 5 minutes of her taking that photo.
All right, I'm the judge. Mm-hmm. And Lucas, you follow how many people on Instagram?
Maybe 18.
It's definitely going to be tough for Lucas to miss an Instagram story when he follows 18 people. Like, I feel like that's going to be right there at the top of the timeline. Click that thing and move on. I don't know.
Here is one thing that I do know. I saw Lucas say that I was caked up when he messaged me. Jay did not see the message from Lucas saying that I was caked up until like 3 hours later when we got to my parents' house. So even if you messaged her first, there's no way I could have taken any feedback from you messaging her because I did not even know that you messaged her until hours after the fact.
This is
and also, I assumed until now that you messaged me first because she didn't see it until
Counselor,
later.
You did not provide this during discovery. I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to throw this evidence out. This was improperly gathered evidence, and the jury will ignore the previous testimony.
Hearsay.
I apologize.
Hearsay.
Irregardless,
Objection, Your Honor. I'm objecting to you throwing out my evidence.
Regardless, let the record show that Andrew Clark, phenomenal dumper, and I hope your wedding suit accentuates that appropriately.
Please don't call it a dumper. If you call it a dump truck, at least that's funny. Dumper sounds so bad. It's just, there's no way that can be a compliment.
It is literally, just like saying shitter. Like, it is just that.
That man's got one hell of a pooper.
Yeah. I mean, literally.
Huh. And we are definitely going to talk a lot about shit. I don't know.
Did you mean to?
There was
shit.
Shit. In news of the week, Activision Blizzard shareholders voted to approve the sale of the company to Microsoft, but the company's declining stock price implies that investors think the FTC may strike down the deal.
Shit.
Yeah.
Why would the FTC do that? They haven't struck down any deal ever in a million fucking years. So frustrating.
Because if ever were going to happen, it would happen to a gaming company, because that's where a lot of this shit is proved out, apparently, nowadays.
I guess they do hate Microsoft. There was all that shit back in, like, the aughts with Bill Gates, like, testifying in front of Congress and everything.
Yeah. Oh.
They do have a bit of a hard-on for Microsoft in particular. But it's like, no, like, if ever it were to have happened, it would have been Disney Fox,
right,
or Discovery Warner, or AT&T Warner, or like, all these mega media mergers that have happened in the last 5 years that they didn't do shit about. So...
yeah. Fucking... whatever. We'll see how this one plays out.
Let's start a conspiracy theory that the FCC or the FTC is going. The FCC, FTC is going after Microsoft in order to stop him, or in order to stop Bill Gates from buying all the farmland and giving us polio.
I mean, honestly, though,
he needs to get the technology from Activision Blizzard so he can produce more adrenochrome from kids playing video games so he can keep Joe Biden alive. Ooh.
So now is there a way we can monetize this to get all the schmucks to give us all approximately $3 million so we can...
I assume we make a
off the
t-shirt
land.
that says that full statement that I just made. In like...
and it'll sell like hotcakes.
In like Calibri text. Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard so that Bill Gates can get more adrenochrome from kids playing video games so that he can keep Joe Biden alive. Just it's a red t-shirt with white text just down the middle.
If you're interested in buying this t-shirt, subscribe to us on voluntaryviewing.patreon.com and our Substack. We'll start one of those.
What's Substack?
I don't know. We can spin one up. It's not that hard if conservative whack jobs are able to do it.
Oh, is it like a crowdfunding for...
what is the platform? Substack
Substack?
is basically you're paying people money, possibly, to just email blog posts to you.
So it's like a...
It's like a newsletter thing.
RSS feed? I don't know what an RSS feed is.
It's like a
either,
news...
so I'm out of my depth.
It's like a newsletter thing, but you use it to send emails.
Yes.
I think to like anyone you want, basically. Whether they want it or not. I'm not sure.
Ostensibly, Substack is subscription-based newsletters from people of interest, and that was immediately co-opted by right-wing grifters. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Grifters, baby.
We're not above that. We're not above grifting.
I'll grift.
Yeah.
Send us money and we'll tell you you're right.
The right people. I'll grift.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. But I do think I'd have a lot of moral objections to selling that T-shirt just because it spreads the disinformation bullshit.
That's true.
Like I said, it would have to be something weird and harmless like Trumpy Bear, where it's like, this doesn't this doesn't increase the hate in anyone's heart. It's just stupid.
I still think it's ironic. I still think like
know.
a not insignificant fraction of those sales are ironic.
I don't know if conservatives are capable of irony in the same.
No,
way
it's
that we think
like
of it.
fucking blue people, fucking Dems. Like, oh, isn't this so stupid? Like buying it, and I don't like it. I don't like Trumpy Bear. I don't like Donald Trump, but if that's not apparent by now, you haven't been listening to a pretty good podcast.
Which is your other podcast?
No.
It's
just
called
straight politics.
It's called A Pretty Good Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to A Pretty Good Podcast. I'm your host, Lucas DeRuyter.
ACAB, Black Lives Matter, Colin Kaepernick should be a quarterback in the NFL right now. I don't know why it all went that one direction. Universal health care for all.
Seize the means of production. Eat the rich.
Ooh, there you go. Oh, wow. There we go. Now we're spinning.
The best
Make
way
it
to
harder
stop
to
climate
do
change
some
is
fires.
to commit acts of heinous murder. But in the
Make it
right
harder to buy
direction.
guns. Wait, no, shit. That one's actually a lot more complicated among progressives now than it was like 10 years ago. Never mind. Walking that one back.
Use the guns for a good purpose and then make it really hard to buy them.
Yeah.
Reintroduce wolves into populations so that they can cull the deer population and reduce car accidents rather than do a bunch of deer hunting. I read an article about that today. It was actually fucking fascinating.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's not because the wolves kill that many deer. It's because deer get scared when wolves are around, so they don't run on roads. Because they're very visible and vulnerable on a road. So they try to keep to like the thick brush and don't really go on the roads as much. I'm just like, yeah, wait, duh. No fucking shit. Wow. Why did...
These deer walking around like they own the place?
That's exactly it. They're literally like...
They have no
deer
predators
basically-
except for us with guns, but they're too stupid to understand that that's a human 100 yards away and he's gonna blow my fucking heart out of my chest. They don't understand what guns are.
Yeah.
They know what a wolf is.
It's like a goose complex, I think they call it.
Oh.
Where like geese have it naturally, where they just actually genuinely think they're indestructible and like nothing can fucking hurt them. But like, yeah, you can train that into other species that have learned to like live with humans. And yeah, for like deer, because they're big enough, it causes a lot of problems. But like, yeah, like squirrels and shit, like they have the same type of complex, or foxes in some city areas. So yeah.
If you put a deer and a moose next to each other, do you think they're similar enough that they kind of recognize what's going on with the other, or are they both immediately alien and scary to each other? Not the moose,
Have you
obviously.
seen a moose, man? Like,
Yeah.
Can they get
I know
You're just saying, can they get a vibe? Like, can you catch a vibe as a deer when you see a moose? Like, do you know what that moose is about? Or is it completely alien? Like,
I mean,
no idea what the fuck's going on.
I feel like it would be like if we saw a gorilla. Like,
I can catch a vibe from a gorilla. Genuinely. I don't know who's closer related, because we're pretty fucking close to gorilla and chimpanzees, but like, I can catch a vibe from those, man. Like, I know what they're about when I see them.
I've seen sad monkeys, sad gorillas at a zoo and recognize that as such.
Yeah, and I've seen like happy gorilla at San Diego Zoo and aggressive gorilla at that zoo when some asshole was like waving his arms and trying to like aggravate it. Yeah, I've seen it all. So I don't know, but yeah, moose are just fucked. They're fucking behemoths, and no one will ever understand that until you see one.
Yeah, cars aren't even a predator to them in some cases.
No, yeah, the car will die more often than the moose. Or both.
That's fair. Yeah.
Depends on the speed. When you get hurt in the wild, you die.
Yeah.
There's no hospitals to go to.
No one's gonna reset your broken leg.
Yeah.
It's just gonna get infected and then you're gonna die.
Speaking of things that should maybe have just died, Overwatch 2 had a beta. The consensus seems to be that Activision Blizzard are trying to make Overwatch a widely watched and popular sport, so they turned it into a less fun game. That's how it works, right? Basketball is one of the biggest sports on the planet, but everybody hates playing it. It's not like a fun game at its core.
Baseball's up there. There's whole episodes of shows about how no one wants to play baseball. It's really boring. I don't know.
They look like they're having fun. I don't know, they're hanging out.
They're
with
having
their
fun
friends
dicking
half the
around,
time. Yeah.
not playing baseball. They're having fun in the dugout, spitting sunflower seeds and pulling pranks on each other.
I mean, my parents were in rec softball leagues when I was a kid. Like, just get out there, enjoy a beautiful day, have a couple beers after, you know?
That's the
Exactly.
whole
Have a
thing.
couple
Yeah.
of beers. All the other stuff than the baseball, softball.
You know, it's
whatever
an
the fuck.
excuse. It's like us saying, like, oh my god, it's so much fun doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, we have fun talking to each other and bullshitting. Like, there's nothing about the baseball part of it that's like, oh my god, that's such a fun afternoon. It's, yeah, hey, honey, I'm gonna go play softball with the guys, and that means we're gonna stand around and, like, kind of half-heartedly, like, throw a ball around, and then we're gonna get wasted on natural light in the hot summer sun.
Yeah. No one's standing in the outfield having a good time in baseball. How about that? Like, pitchers, I imagine, catchers maybe, and then every time you're up at bat, you're having a good time. You're focused. Fucking maybe some of the infielders who are like psychopaths. Zero outfielders. There is not a single fucking outfielder who is like having a blast, just standing in the grass, waiting for shit to happen.
You know how hard it has to be to just stand for like 20 minutes, letting all your muscles cramp up and like having to like stretch your back out, and then, oh shit, fly ball, I have to sprint as fast as I can for the next 20 yards to try to catch this thing.
I get.
Yeah. And your fucking pitcher has walked two guys in a row, and it's just like, just let them hit it, man. They haven't hit a home run against us in years. Like, just let them hit the fucking ball. Let us play. Jesus Christ, man. Stop trying to paint the corners. Just give them one.
I guess, yeah, I realize now that outfielder, maybe as a rule, is just where you put the guys who have really high batting averages. You put them in a position where they're going to do the least harm on defense out there, potentially, statistically.
The center fielder is usually going to be, like a fast person at least. Might not have the best glove. Mm-hmm. But yeah, generally, as long as you have an arm, you can play outfield. As long as you can fucking chuck that ball, you'll be fine.
With what the modern sport of baseball is, that's kind of a rule. You develop that one just because that shares some muscles with the bat swinging muscles.
Oh, I thought just because steroids.
Oh, also, yeah. Also, yes.
Just because they got big old fucking biceps and triceps. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Any details come out about that? Did he have a reason? Did he say anything? Usually they come up with something like, it's because me and my wife were trying to have a kid, and I was increasing fertility with human growth hormone.
Isn't 6 games more than the base? Isn't that like...
No, that's what Will Fuller...
that's
what Will Fuller got.
That's the very first offense.
I think so.
Interesting. No? Well, Marquise Brown. Anyway.
Yeah.
Video games.
Overwatch 2, not fun. They've made conscious decisions to make it less fun for the sake of making it a better esport. Yeah.
I mean, so what are the biggest esports by audience? Is that out there?
I'm just going off of Twitch numbers, but I feel like
That's not... I feel like that's not going to be 1-to-1.
Dota, League of Legends.
League of Legends is number 1.
StarCraft.
Dota number 2. The Mobile Legends Pro League in Indonesia It's number 3. These are total hours watched. I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
Again, like, I don't know if that... I don't want a single event. I want... What are the biggest esports? What are the most popular esports?
Oh, CSGO.
Yeah, CSGO I saw was up there.
That makes sense.
Top games awarding prize money. I mean, that's a decent market. Dota's number 1. CSGO, Fortnite. Wow.
That tracks.
League of Legends, Arena of Valor, PUBG, StarCraft, Overwatch, PUBG Mobile.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe this isn't the best.
Wow, not a single fighting game in there. I thought that would be the easiest to intuit what's going on there as an audience member, but okay.
Legitimately, what is the first fighting game? Holy shit.
What's the first fighting game?
I don't see like any of them.
Virtual Fighter?
Smash Bros. Melee. Number 34.
Oh, you meant on that list.
That's
Got
it. That's the first fighting game on this list, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I've always thought that like Rocket League, because like that's the easiest one to follow because it's just fucking
it's car
soccer with cars. Yeah, like anyone can immediately watch and be like, "Oh shit, look what's happening." That car is going to try to hit that ball into the goal.
Yeah.
But they're flying through the air. This shit's crazy, man.
Yeah. And along those lines, Lucas, you're absolutely right. Rocket League and a fighting game is like that's so easy to interpret. It's just there's two people fighting and there's health bars and you can tell when someone hits the other person and does damage. Yeah.
I mean, but at least with shooters, it's like, oh, you shoot them and they're dead. Dota and League of Legends, I don't think there's any audience that isn't people who play Dota and League of Legends. Like,
right.
There's no way that a casual person could watch an Overwatch competitive tournament and understand. It's like, oh, they're shooting each other and that guy's got a shield and that guy's got a hook and like just kind of... I get it, I guess.
Yeah. Is that an e-girl?
I get it. Yeah. Basically.
I don't know. On some level, I just find it funny that Activision Blizzard, at this point, pretty nakedly was starting to was trying to create their own sports league. There was a conversation in a boardroom that probably shook out along the lines of, we can have our own NBA, but for nerds around a video game that we control. That can be us. We can make that money. And then have just been constantly shooting themselves in the foot and making Overwatch almost progressively and at a constant incline a worse video game in pursuit of this idea.
That is interesting. I guess that is one of the core differences between esports and sports, right? Is that professional sports are all decentralized. Like they are controlled by a governing body, but it's not like a corporation that owns the rights and like controls the sport. Like it's more, there's like a loose governing body and really the money is in the people who own the teams. Like that is kind of a core difference because all esports are, they're owned by whoever developed the original game basically nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like an independent like whatever thing, and it'll always kind of be that way. Like unless people start relinquishing the rights to the classic esports, like
will Call of Duty ever go into the public domain?
Fucking
Mickey Mouse still isn't. Also, I don't even know what that entails. Like it's always going to be an own piece of media unless you're like, I mean, like, for example, Guitar Hero has a thing called Clone Hero on PC, which is, people just basically ripped Guitar Hero and programmed their own version of Guitar Hero that is the exact same in every way, shape, or form, but it's not called Guitar Hero, it's called Clone Hero. So, like, I guess there's that, but I don't know, other than that.
All right, speaking of weird IP stuff, Square Enix sold the Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Thief IPs, along with their related studios, to the Embracer Group. And this is maybe a net positive for all involved, because man, nobody really seemed to love the game Square Enix was putting out in those IP, and also Square Enix didn't seem to like how those games were performing.
What the fuck is the Embracer Group?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Why in the world would they choose a company name so fucked?
Well, they're
and
Swedish.
terrifying?
I think that's a part of it.
So they don't understand
Sweet-
that it
no,
sounds like
maybe.
No. They
someone's gonna
understand.
just like hug you to death.
Swedes are horrifying.
Cold-blooded.
Is that where that horror movie took place? The one where the guy gets shoved into a bear?
What?
What?
What's that horror movie?
The guy gets shoved into a bear?
Yeah.
Like into or like
Or like he's put in a dead bear.
It's the one where the old man jumps off a cliff and everyone's cool with it.
Midsummer?
Midsummer,
keep
yes.
naming things. Oh, okay.
Is that Sweden?
I was gonna say just keep naming things that happen.
That feels like Sweden, yeah.
Nah, Andrew, this is for you. Their first acquisition was Joe Wood, the
Oh my
classic
God.
Funhouse.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Some of the greatest Funhouse Let's Plays of all time.
No, yes, it's my understanding that the Embracer Group is more or less a European version of Tencent, where they are buying up whatever video game rights are on the market and trying to create a super conglomerate of new IPs in a way
But
that's
no, Europeans
kind
can't
of
do
terrifying.
that. That's the only thing that scary Asian companies do.
Yeah.
Nope.
They're involved with the Koch brothers.
Oh, man. You can't say Koch brothers anymore. There's only one.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, which one survived?
I don't know.
Koch
Was it Michael
brothers. It's the less evil one, right? Or the less evil looking one.
Oh, yeah.
I should specify.
No.
Charles Koch and David Koch.
Yeah, David Koch's dead. Charles Koch is the one that's still alive. Yeah, it's the less evil looking one.
David Koch did look
David
evil.
David Koch looked like Dick Cheney and Adolf Hitler had a kid. I don't know, like he looks pretty evil. He looks pretty fucked. David Koch looks like, I don't know, some like neoliberal senator from a red state who has to toe the line. Like less evil, but still pretty
Bad.
pretty fucking evil.
Guys, I want homeless people to die because they're gay, not because they're homeless. What don't you understand about that? I said that the wrong way, but that still sounds right.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I want homeless people to die because they're homeless, not because they're gay. Come on.
No. The neoliberal thing would be like, I'm going to end the homeless problem because nobody wants to see homeless people around. And so solving the homeless problem doesn't mean housing people. It means getting rid of the homeless people.
What if we take the homeless and just push them
exactly.
somewhere else?
That is the whole thing, though. They just like tear down the tents and put them on a bus and say, "Go to fucking Illinois."
Yeah, we did it in
A
LA.
fate
Echo
worse
Park.
than death.
Mayor Garcetti spent $6 million removing all the homeless people from Echo Park, and then people did calculations on how many people were living there and what it would cost to just house those people, and it was like a few $100,000. It really wasn't. Really was nothing. It was really nothing in comparison. So yeah.
Anyway, the Square Enix presser for this event explicitly calls out that they're going to use the money they made from these sales to fund projects involving the blockchain. So I'm still not super high up on this company. I'm still not feeling great about a company that has made games I enjoy a lot, and I don't know how to explain to them that if they just, on rotation, put out a new Final Fantasy game, a new Yoko Taro game, a new Dragon Quest game, and whatever fucking Tetsuya Nomura bullshit that guy wants to put out, on rotation, like one of those every year in rotation in perpetuity, they're just gonna keep making money. They don't have to bother with all this stuff. I'm mad.
Just a reminder that all these elites have unlimited money and a license to print it, but that's not enough.
No.
They need more. They need more than that.
That is a fantastic transition into this Netflix news. Tudum, Netflix's venture into entertainment journalism and editorial content, was created by the streaming giant in December of last year. They just laid off a good chunk of their staff.
Fucking... It's so weird.
Yeah. I thought we were through this, like... I thought we were through this phase of businesses thinking, hey, we're doing all right. We're a name. Let's see if we can leverage that into editorial content and make money with a blog. And it never works out, and it never has worked out. They try to do Game Informer. They try to do what GameStop did with Game Informer, and that... Well, it did put out some fantastic journalism. Not ever a big moneymaker for the company.
I mean, Netflix is just thrashing to try to find some growth market. They've completely run out of areas to expand to. And
their whole thing for the last 10 years has been operate cheaply, spend a fuck ton of money on content, and attempt to like literally starve out the competition so that you're the only thing left. And it didn't work. There's more competition in the streaming market than ever. So now they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, Netflix.
Okay. For the sake of this argument, I wish Netflix was at least profitable so I could make the point of...
It's profitable nowadays.
Oh, really? Oh, well, good for them. Yeah. Okay.
Last like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years, it's been profitable.
Great. Then I can make the argument. Everybody knows that under late-stage capitalism, that is dog shit. Nobody cares if you're profitable. The only thing that matters is that you're bigger the next quarter than you were the previous. That's healthy. That's sustainable. That's not
it is,
gluttonous.
It's perfectly representative of how fucked up our system is. The fact that, they weren't profitable for the longest time. And now that they are only making a level profit, they're only making the same amount of money for the foreseeable future. That's like death. Like, time to fucking jump ship, man. This ship's literally gonna sink.
Guys, we're finally profitable. Shut it down. Wind it off. Sell off the IP we own for parts. Let's wind it up again, disrupting podcasting markets or something. I don't know.
There's no disruption with the internet anymore.
No.
People think that it's like, no, we're still in the Wild West, baby. It's like, no, the internet's a solved problem nowadays. Like, it's no different from starting up a new car company and thinking that's gonna disrupt everything. It's like, nah, man, this shit's wraps. Like, all the big corporations are there and understand it now. Like, it's too late to disrupt everything. There would need to be a brand new medium, and maybe it's VR, but like, that's still in its infancy. So, yeah,
we as a species have gotten really good at implementing innovation, and it makes it harder for there to be big shifts like that in sustained industries.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about a company that is going to do it, probably. Take it away, Andrew.
Wait, is going to do what?
Is going to shake things up. Is going to disrupt everything with a fantastic premium service.
Disruption. Elon talk. Elon. Okay, so y'all know A24, right?
Yes, I enjoyed Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I saw this weekend, and we'll talk about later.
Fuck. I still haven't been able to see it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm going to try to see it this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm stoked to see it, though. I've loved most of the A24 movies that I've seen. I think A24 is like a really cool thing, kind of like Neon, where they make like independent films, art house films, and they make it really accessible to a lot of people. I've always kind of understood, though, that like A24 is a brand, and eventually they will either just get big enough where they're going to stop being the place that does cool and weird shit and says yes to everything, or they'll just fail. and that's okay. They're going to be one or the other. It happens, whatever. So I really like a lot of A24 movies, and I'd consider myself kind of an A24 fanboy, but there are people that take it to the next step. And that's what AAA 24 is for.
No, please, Andrew. It's 24.
AAA 24, which stands for All Access A24, is a premium subscription service for A24 fans, and it gets you everything. It gets you, I'm looking at the website, a subscription to their Zine, so you get mail from A24. It gets you...
hold on. What?
A Zine is apparently... I think...
No, Andrew, it's a zine.
It's zine?
It's short for magazine. It's independent magazine.
Shit. I had no idea. I've only ever seen it written.
I'm sorry for calling you out right now, but shit.
That's pretty good.
Man.
I'm sorry.
You kind of fucked with my whole flow there.
It's pretty good, though.
Okay, so you get a zine, which we all know is like a magazine.
We all know that. Snap, snap, snap.
It gets you a birthday gift from their store. It gets you early access to their merch, so you can buy their merch before anyone else. It gets you a pin. It gets you VIP treatment. I don't know what that is. Can anyone guess what a premium subscription to A24 does not get you?
Access to the A24
Access to the movies! You don't get to watch the movies! You pay $60 a year, and you don't get to watch the movies! God damn it!
Yeah, that really... I was like, wait, why is it stupid? It seems like, yeah, you just pay a subscription fee to watch their movies. It actually sounds like kind of a cool way to support an independent film producer.
If I could watch the movies, I would do this. But I don't get to watch the movies. I'm not going to pay $60 a year so that I can buy A24 t-shirts before other people.
Someone please let me pay you $12 a month to watch Kevin Smith's Tusk whenever I want. That's all I need.
Was Tusk an A24 movie?
Yes, I'm on the Wikipedia page.
Holy shit.
That's early days. That was long before A24 became what it is today. Yeah, I mean, I have a much more complicated relationship with A24. Like, I don't necessarily think of them as like these bastions of great storytelling. Like, I think they're also a bit of a meme, like in that they sometimes are a little bit pretentious, and it does feel like this is actually like increasing that
no exactly
in my mind, the fact that they're willing to do something like this.
That's what I meant when I was starting this out. Like, they're a brand. Like, they do these things based on calculated business decisions. I think what they've done so far is really cool, and like, I think it's good for the film industry as a whole. It's not gonna last, and A24 is not like they're not like the good guys fighting against this big bad entertainment industry. They just have made really good movies, and they've done so by saying yes to a lot of things that other people wouldn't have said yes to. That's not gonna last, though.
But I almost don't even agree with that statement, that like they're willing to make anything. Like, I feel like they have a very niche brand that is memeable because all the movies are very similar. Like, even though they are,
I don't know if they're
unique and they're unique and they have different takes, and like, you know, they're saying something different. But at the end of the day, like for example, I watched the trailer for Men, obviously, like before we watched all these movies.
That's
it's
an
just a
A24
fucking
movie,
A24.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like literally, you know the beats of the trailer. It starts and it's happy and bright and everything's great, and then it goes A24, and you're like, oh, so it's gonna get fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
and then
there is.
and then all of a sudden things get progressively more fucked until all of a sudden there's like body horror and just full blown like fucked shit on the screen.
I
and
don't
then it
know,
goes,
Ryan.
coming this
Are
summer.
you telling me that's similar to the trailer for Lamb and The Witch and The Green Knight?
There is, yeah, they are kind of this is pseudo horror, more palatable for general audiences art house stuff. That's what A24 is.
It's weird. It's weird. It never gets into the realm of like snuff film weird, but like it's weird.
Snuff film gets into, okay, whatever. I'm sorry. Now I agree with your point, but yeah, I don't know, maybe that makes me hopeful a little bit that like A24 films are doing well right now, and they are just on the cusp of diverting from the mainstream while still being relatively safe. So
I think it's going to go in the other direction.
Probably.
I think this is a sign that they are like, oh shit, we have a huge following and we are making a lot of money and we've done some big things. It's time to go mainstream, baby.
This reeks of like Supreme to me.
Yeah.
Like you've cultivated a cult of people who think that they're different because they like you, but then you've created a cult of people that all think the exact same. So then they're not different. They're all exactly
that's
the
exactly
same.
what I'm saying.
And then
is that like anyone that buys a subscription to AAA 24 or A24 as the bros call it, like those people are going to wear that shit everywhere, and they already have 10 A24 shirts.
I
do not own any A24 memorabilia.
Oh, just wait until Christmas comes around. So this line of conversation does inspire the question: what does this podcast think is the quintessential A24 film?
A24 tier list.
Shit.
It's out there. And now it's time where we go into A24 tier lists. Rank it now. I haven't seen that many A24 movies.
There are more than you think.
Yeah, no, there's a ton.
I know.
I haven't seen the vast majority of these.
Mm-hmm.
Vast majority. Okay, so I've seen 8th grade.
No.
That's like a B tier.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Oh my god, there's so many. This keeps going.
I know, there is a lot. I never saw The Lighthouse. I know you guys did.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
I think that's just a little too weird to be like the A24.
I think that's kind of
front
the whole
center.
thing. I think that's
the Disaster Artist. You give that a solid B tier again. I never saw Moonlight. I mean, that won Best Picture. I never saw Swiss Army Man either.
Swiss Army Man was good.
I wanted to see it. I never saw Uncut Gems.
some of these are cut off, so I can't tell exactly what movie they are.
Ooh. I mean, look. Ex Machina is probably going to be my favorite A24, but I don't know if that's the quintessential A24
I thought
movie.
that was a Neon movie.
No.
Oh shit.
I was going to say Ex Machina, its popularity, its success, I think definitely has colored the direction the company has gone in since its release. But it is a little more sci-fi leaning than some of their other big
Which
hits.
I like.
Yeah.
Wow, is that it? Really? I haven't seen that many A24 movies,
Right?
apparently.
Or
could've
Fraud.
sworn.
There's definitely A24 movies that I've seen that aren't on this list. Like I don't even think Green Knight is on this list. And the Northman is definitely not on this list.
Well, that wouldn't be on my
Ew.
Spoiler alert for my breakouts.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, I saw the Northman.
Oh boy.
Wait, is Northman an A24 movie?
It definitely is. Yeah. It's Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
It's not on the
I know, that's what I'm
Wikipedia.
saying. It's not on the list. It's an A24 movie. It's not on the list though.
No, yeah, Northman's not A24. That's right. Yeah, it was Focus Features, which is a subset of Universal. Yeah, I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh, this is an A24." I remember seeing that in the trailers.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. No, I'm pretty sure the Northman is A24.
It is not.
There was no A24 logos before the movie. I remember being kind of surprised that it was.
Oh wait, you're right. Fuck. I was definitely under the belief that it was.
But again, that just shows it's like it's a genre.
Wait, Boys State was A24? You know what? Maybe they have more going on there than what I give them credit for. There might be a broader umbrella.
Is that on this list?
It's on the Wikipedia page.
It's not on the tier list. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because right now, I only have Ex Machina, Lady Bird, 8th Grade, and Disaster Artist. So.
Enemy is A24? Damn.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It might be Ex Machina for me then.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still think it's The Lighthouse.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
You should.
All right. Do we have time? Can we fit roasting Elon Musk for buying Twitter in the next 4 minutes? Can we do that, or should we jump into the other call?
We can do it.
We can do it.
Fuck Elon.
Elon Musk out here saying, the left is responsible for the division in this country because they keep going further left, when it's like Democrats in 2008 were Joe Biden and Democrats now are Joe Biden. What the fuck are you talking about?
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer are in charge of the Democrats in 2022.
What?
Yeah.
Diane Feinstein.
And you're saying...
Clearly, they're the radical ones. They're responsible for the division, not the people who literally attacked the U.S. Capitol building. That political group has been rock solid forever.
No, the Democratic Party, the party famous for like absolutely eviscerating and shutting down any, candidates that are attempting to move the party farther in one direction. They're the extremists. That's why they're the party of Bernie, and everyone loves AOC, and no one in the Democratic Party says anything about Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
And it's really weird for me to chime in on this conversation because, around the start of high school, that's when I first became more cognizant of politics. That's when my politics started forming. And I have since moved a lot further left since I was in 7th grade. But has progressivism as a whole really shifted that much further to the left? I don't think so. I think I'm just more aware of the world and able to form my own politics and realize that I am unfortunately in the minority for the American population with my political beliefs.
And there's no fucking money left. There's nothing. The millennials, probably entered the workforce a little bit more conservative. And then they realized they had no money and they couldn't buy a house and they couldn't find a job and they couldn't have a family. And then they went, this shit's pretty fucked, wouldn't you say? Yeah, people in the 80s came out and maybe went a little more conservative. Because you could buy a fucking house. You could have a car. You could be a fucking salesman. And then, only one person would have to work of your couple the person you married.
You could have 4 kids
just
and
not
your wife's
true.
job could just be taking care of them. And you're
that shit just doesn't happen anymore, man. Things have fucking changed. They got too greedy, and now there's a little bit of backlash. The smallest amount of political organizing.
This is the equivalent of someone going to the server and saying, "Hey, I don't want to bother you, but I ordered this steak, and you handed me a fucking fish fillet from McDonald's."
I don't know how people are genuinely blind to that. Yeah, man, shit's different.
Keep giving.
People got too greedy.
You keep giving.
The richest people in the world right now have only gotten richer in the last 20 years. They've become what they are in the last 20 years. That's where the money went. Anyway.
Keep giving people starting out less, and then when they complain about it, you're like, you're the problem? Nah, dude. We gotta jump into the other call.
I'm so angry all the time. And Elon Musk gets to do whatever he wants.
Right.
Whatever he wants. He said, if you can show me how I can solve world hunger with, like, what was it, fucking, like, $6 billion?
$6 billion.
Then I'll do it. And then they showed him. The United Nations sent him a document saying how he could do it. And he said, I'm going to buy Twitter for $45 billion.
Yeah, for almost 10 times that.
Oh, my God.
That's just... I don't get how anyone sympathizes with him anymore.
Right.
Just from a state of, I take that back. I can see how approximately 20 to 30 people on this planet can sympathize with him anymore.
Because he's
like,
one of them.
Literally?
He's one of the
Right,
space
like,
alien people.
It's the 20 to 30 people on the Forbes 400 that are even within spitting distance of half of his net worth. Like, how do people not see just how rich this fucking person is, and how he still complains about he's being silenced, and how the loony left is gonna try to shut him down? Like, he gets everything. He has everything. And he's still the biggest complainer on planet Earth. Like, good God.
I had an argument recently with a close personal friend about whether or not Elon Musk is smart.
What is smart?
Yeah, no, like,
Exactly.
Smart is like a dumb person word.
Yeah.
Smart is the word that someone who doesn't fully grasp, like, humanity and, like, the qualities that make up a human being. Like,
People use smart instead of successful. Elon Musk is successful.
it's so reductive.
Elon Musk has figured out to be successful. That doesn't mean he grasps any sort of elevated intelligence. I don't know. He's probably not the
Is Elon Musk a
stupidest
reasonably
guy
intelligent guy?
but,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, probably. But, like, is Elon Musk, in, like, the top 0.01% of humanity, and that is why he has reached his standing in this world? Like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And you are insane if you believe that.
Elon Musk was smart enough to not squander his family's slave labor wealth and then do something with it. And by do something with it, I mean listen to other people that invested his money and bought shit that other people were working on that happened to make a lot of money, and then become a fucking lunatic that people on the internet think is awesome and will give money to at any chance they get. Elon Musk is smart in that regard.
I disagree.
If that's what the definition of smart is, then yes.
I disagree. Because I think a smart person wouldn't buy a platform that is now only begrudgingly engaged with by people because it seems like a necessity now for anyone doing any kind of hustle to have Twitter, because it's one more platform where information can be disseminated. And nobody likes it. Nobody's having fun on Twitter anymore.
I disagree.
But you gotta have one.
Here's the thing. I'm on Twitter a lot. I love Twitter. I am a bad person because of Twitter. I am on Twitter so much that I had to put a screen time limit on my Twitter app recently. And I will wholeheartedly buy into the notion that we can make Twitter Tumblr. We can lose Elon all of that money if we work hard enough.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Why? Why would we work hard enough to do that? Like, you realize still, though, how small $45 billion is to Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, that's a big chunk of money, but he will have made that amount of money in the next 2 years. Like, it's nothing. There's no reason to, throw ourselves on the sword that is, trying to bankrupt, quote-unquote, Elon Musk.
I hate it so much.
He's made how much money in the last year? Like, his net worth has over doubled. So he's made over $100 billion in 1 year. Like, what's the point? Why am I going to designate any effort towards trying to, take an okay-sized chunk out of his net worth? Like, it's pointless.
So there's
no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism.
There's a non-zero chance he bans pornography on Twitter. And that actually causes Twitter to shut down, right?
I will say that is a weird thing of Twitter. That's not like Tumblr, where it's like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
where were you when you discovered that there's just full blown porn on Twitter? Like not even
exactly
even like softcore, like just
that was in
right?
public.
I know, right? It's just like, wait, what? Nudity, I guess that wouldn't shock me, but I did find out that it allows nudity and pornography at the same time.
Yeah, no, there's hardcore pornography. There's I mean, there are porn accounts that all they do is just post clips of porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I wouldn't have shocked me as much if it was just nudity. But I didn't even know that nudity was allowed, and then it's just full on hardcore pornography on this mainstream social media
we
site.
talked about Belle Delphine getting back on Twitter last week.
Yeah.
I checked up on it a couple days ago. She's posting full-blown nudity.
No.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Twitter's content guidelines.
Because
Twitter's content.
Facebook, YouTube, every other mainstream. That shit's not going to fly. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They can't do that shit. Twitter's just we don't give a fuck, man.
Twitter's content guidelines are less strict than OnlyFans.
Shit.
Insane.
Speaking of, is OnlyFans TV a thing? Jade got an ad for that on Twitter, and we were looking at it, and we couldn't figure out what it was. It was OF.TV, and
is it just like a Roku app or some shit?
No, I kind of got the impression that it was safe for work OnlyFans. That it was like Twitch for OnlyFans, but no actual nudity.
I want to see this safe for work OnlyFans be overrun by thirst streamers who are towing that line.
No, I think that's the thing. I think it's exclusively thirst streamer content that's on.
Wait, then what? That's not safe for work. Hold on. Thirst.
Okay,
content
you know what I
safe
mean
for
though.
work. I thought you meant no, this is for filmmakers that are trying to be on OnlyFans.
No.
Or
Sorry, I mean
actual straight in there, and then
the
have
stuff
it be
that's
overrun
on
by
Twitch right now that you would call thirst streamers. That's the stuff that I'm seeing on whatever this is. I think it just says OF.TV. It doesn't say anything about OnlyFans, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
No, it is.
Okay.
OFTV features free original content by OnlyFans creators spanning a wide variety of genres, including fitness, cooking, comedy, music, and more. Feel like that more is a bigger part of the pie chart than OnlyFans would make it out to be.
We know what kind of fitness that is.
No, but I mean, so it's the stuff that would be the thirst streamers on Twitch, but it's between what is acceptable on Twitch and what we would think of as OnlyFans. Is what I'm getting from this.
So definitely still
not safe. But also, who the fuck would pay for this? Why not just pay for OnlyFans? Unless it's free. Unless this is free.
There's no such thing as paying for OnlyFans. You have to pay for individual creators. I imagine OnlyFans.tv is like a Netflix.
Oh.
You pay and then you get a ton of original content created by a bunch of different creators and stuff like that.
So I don't know if this is brilliant or an oversight on Netflix's PR part, but apparently the launch of OnlyFans TV is happening simultaneously with the launch of their original series, the second season of their original series titled Unlocked, which I don't think that's a BDSM thing, but boy, does that name seem like a BDS. Yeah.
Chastity cage type situation.
Right? Fucking hell. Fucking hell. All right, we have all watched a lot of media this past week, and we're going to talk about some of that in the breakouts. And then the group chat. This is going to blend together. Get ready, America. Get ready for this. That would be a great time for Andrew to talk about his wrapping up of Horizon Forbidden West, right?
Yeah. Do it, Andrew. Take it away.
Just let us know what kind of impact that video game made on you, bud. Oh, boy.
Oh, no. I guess he doesn't have any opinions.
Oh, God.
We'll just move on to the next topic. I'm sure he doesn't need to talk about it.
There's deafening silence in response to this piece of media. Yeah.
The silence is very much deafening. And yeah, it sounds like Andrew just hated Horizon Forbidden West. Wow.
Right.
It's sad. You really like the original, but
Unfortunate.
yeah, we all saw it coming.
Sorry, Aloy. Sorry, Ashley Birch. I'm playing a fantasy strategy game called Triangle Strategy. Really good pixel art in there. A lot of fun. No anime bullshit so far, and I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of digging a by-the-books period drama about a continental war. Would I appreciate on some level if everything was happening because the evil church wouldn't let you fuck the dragon people who are definitely of age and not 10,000 years old? I don't know. But I enjoy that this game is in fact about 3 nations who are fighting over who gets to own all the salt and all the iron on the continent. And then just be the most powerful because they have all the salt and all the iron. Yeah, there's also the one knock I will give it though is that there's some fantasy racism going on where it's like this marginalized group just has a weird pink hair color and they're discriminated against by people who actually have darker skin tones, and it's like, maybe this isn't being handled super well. I don't like it. Yeah. But I am enjoying the writing otherwise. I recently got through a situation where I had to choose between giving up the... he was originally the second prince of a nation, but is now the first prince because his brother got iced. I had a debate giving him up to the invading nation and potentially sparing innocent lives and an easier fight versus holding on to him and then things being more difficult. And that was the easiest decision I ever made in a video game because the enemy invader, he iced his own cousin as an excuse to go to war. He faked his cousin's death to make it seem like another country did it. So he's like, hey, false flag, I can invade you guys now. And I don't trust for a second that his promise of, no, yeah, you give up the prince and we'll let you go live your life. It'll be chill. That wasn't going to happen. He was going to fuck our shit up anyway. I'm enjoying it. Good fantasy writing. Good fantasy bullshit.
Yeah. With none of the anime craziness.
None so far.
Nothing at all.
I mean...
If we watched a playthrough, we'd be like, wow, this is really on the straight and narrow. No weird shit here at all.
Fully Western media.
So there is a thing where the second prince has now put on a mask and a hat. And they're like, yeah, this will hide your identity. This will be fine. Nobody will know who you are. And I'm like, well, okay, that's more broadly in fiction. That's a more broad, like, fantastical leap in a narrative that I guess I buy. Sure. I mean, fuck, I don't know. I feel like we already covered, like, Andrew's take on Horizon Forbidden West and how, you know, his just deafening silence was met by a prompt for him to talk about the game. But I don't know, Andrew, like, can you dig deeper? Can you give any kind of reaction to it?
Good.
Oh! This is much different than the impression we got earlier, but okay.
The game is good. Yeah, I stepped out. I assume you did some bullshit when I was away.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero West or Horizon Forbidden Dawn. Sunrise, the sick-ass East, whatever you want to call it. It's a good game. I don't know, like this game, it's just so fun to play. The gameplay is great. The characters are fun. The world is cool to explore. The enemy designs are awesome. It's very pretty. It's a fun story to play. I don't think it was quite as inspired as the first game, just because the story of the first game was like, discover the secrets of the earth, and as you discover all this shit, it's like, wow, I'm uncovering this mystery. In this one, it's like, yeah, save the world, and there will be twists in there. Like, that's true, but I just think the first game was so, like, fantastic in its storytelling. But this is definitely a better video game, and I'm gonna play it some more, and I'm gonna play Strike, which is better than Gwent. It's
Wait.
it's chess,
Wait.
but for
Wait.
yeah.
Wait. Hold the fuck on. We're in week 4 of talking about this video game on a podcast, and you are just now telling me that there is a mini game with a shocking amount of mechanical depth inside of Horizon Forbidden West.
There is. It's like chess, but for machines, but also it's a board game where you have to acquire and buy pieces and then play it, and the terrain matters. And yeah, it's kind of like Catan mixed with chess.
I feel like if you had opened talking about this game with that, I would be playing that right now.
You can soon. I'll give it to you.
It's too late.
No, it's not.
No, I already made the decision.
Not playing.
Lucas, what if I told you the game is saying that, like, you know, maybe saving the world was the friends we made along the way? What if a group of ragtag individuals just save the world with the power of friendship?
How weird are the basically alien people?
I mean, they're the billionaire class. That's the whole thing. Is that they're...
That's not answering the question.
Yeah, no, they're weird. Like, they're not in the game. Like, they're not front and center on the screen all that often. But, yeah, no, they're weird. They're horrible people that don't understand what reality is anymore.
Huh. All right.
There is a moment at the end, though. Like, the finale for this game is definitely not as fun as the finale for the last game. But you beat the bad guys, and then Lance Reddick is like, all right, fuck you, losers. I'm taking this spaceship, and I'm getting out of here before the world ends. And they're like, no, you should stay with us and help us actually make the world survive. He's like, no, you guys are doomed. And then he, like, starts walking away, and he looks back. He's like, actually, you guys look like you're pretty good friends. I should stay. Just for no reason. Just like, I've changed my mind.
Spectacular.
So, I don't think we'd ever talked about the exact date, but Horizon Forbidden West takes place in the year 3040.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not far enough in the future.
No, it's not.
Like, not even
it's
close.
definitely not.
Like, I thought it was going to be tens of thousands of years into the future. That's just not even close. I'm sorry.
I mean,
there's nothing. It's just wrong.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was definitely thinking it was like 10,000 years, and they're like, yeah, no, this happened 998 years ago. And it's like, okay.
Wait.
It's just not long.
I played like 2 hours of the original Horizon. There aren't buildings around. Like those would. I guess there are robots who are like.
There are buildings. You just didn't
they're
get
like underground buildings.
You did not. You only played 2 hours.
You did
not
enough.
get to the point where you're in the buildings. You're in the ruins of the old world. You didn't get there.
Okay.
They have a video called Las Vegas 3040, which I'm guessing is in Horizon Forbidden West.
You go to Las Vegas.
I kind of want to. I want to see. Is there any like shots of like an overview of the whole city?
The parts of the city that actually look like Las Vegas are all underground. The stuff above ground is pretty much leveled.
That's
what Lucas is saying.
I understand.
Lucas literally said that.
I understand the narrative conceit of there are robots going around, giant robots whose job is to make the surface of the Earth not look like the surface of the Earth anymore. But I gotta believe that I'm looking at like a dozen concrete 4-story buildings right now out of my window.
No, like,
I gotta believe one of them is sticking around 1,000 years from now.
There are spots in both the Horizon games where there are cities and there are skyscrapers that are still standing. Las Vegas being leveled is not normal. They did that for a visual reason, because later in the game you like get access to a holographic version of Las Vegas. So they did it so you can see the contrast between, whoa, there's just like nothing there, and then there's all these cool buildings. Wow. But yeah, no, there are skyscrapers still standing. You go to San Francisco and it's still San Francisco. Is
the Golden Gate Bridge still up?
Like half of it.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
That Golden
that's
Gate
one
Bridge
thing,
is barely if you had told me the Golden Gate Bridge had fallen, I'd
It's
be
only
like,
1,000
no,
years in the
yeah.
future. It's only 1,000 years.
We're barely keeping it up right now.
It
This
hasn't
thing's a
seen any
liability.
traffic. It hasn't seen any traffic.
I honestly, yeah, I'm with Lucas here. If humans all died right now, I don't think the Golden Gate Bridge is lasting more than a few decades.
Yeah.
Like that thing is literally.
Look, it looks.
You watch
It's
that
cool.
thing
It's a
sway.
cool game. Stop digging into it so much.
Oh, fair. Ryan, have you been checking anything out individually, or are we about to jump right into Russian Doll Season 2?
Yeah, I've watched a good amount of Severance.
Ooh.
That's a really good show. Been watching a lot of Atlanta. It's also been good, although I heard they maybe were kind of on this most recent episode, but I need to watch it, so it's not fair to the show to judge it for that. Yeah, bunch of good stuff. And watch the Northman, but that'll be more group chat, I imagine.
It's fair. Yeah, let's talk about the 20 minutes of Russian Doll Season 2 Episode 1 I watched and the 15 minutes of Russian Doll Season 2 Episode 1 you watched, because what the fuck happened here?
I literally can't tell you. I just... It literally felt like it was made by completely different people. It was like the originals Star Wars versus the prequels, where it was just like, how did... all this was made by a decent number of the same people. How did it go so wrong?
Not even talking about the entire season, because I don't think I'm going to be able to watch the rest of Russian Doll Season 2, but even the first episode of that show, if I'm remembering correctly, such a tight and both technically and narratively competent piece of writing with some fantastic production and performances. It was astonishing. It was immediately gripping, where Season 2 opens and, oh man, this woman has some insecurities about her mother. What if she goes back in time and literally is her mother? What if she confronts it that way? And like, that is such a worse representation of what it is like to confront trauma, what it is like to confront insecurities, than being trapped in a death loop. That is such a worse conceit, a worse dramatization of what it's like to go through these emotions. Oh,
did you face trauma? What if you were on the other side? You'd see it differently.
Yeah. The writing was very stilted. The editing was one thing that I pointed out that was just awful. Like, they just would linger on like shots for way too long, and it just all felt like a mess. I couldn't stand it. The first season was, I was immediately hooked. Loved it so much. Loved all the characters, especially her. Like, she was amazing.
Tasha De Leon
I
was
didn't
fantastic.
like her.
Yeah.
I legitimately did not like her character in season 2. Like, that of the first half of the first episode. Like, she became such a better person,
right,
in the first season, and then it didn't even seem like she reverted to season 1 episode 1 herself. It seemed like she just became an entirely different bad person. Like, it made no sense.
And like,
so terrible.
And I get that in real life. Like, you can address an issue, you can address some insecurities, some problems that you have, and then slip back into that. Like, that's not a one and done situation. That doesn't work super well in fiction, because that's not how we don't want you to just line them up again with season 2 of a story.
Well, and you even can have it be that she's backsliding, but she's aware now and is working on every time that she's backsliding, instead of just like, no, now she's an asshole to other people and wants to smoke but can't, which makes her an asshole.
She's trying to quit smoking. That's character development, which I don't believe that character, even at the end of season 1, is going to quit smoking. She is the most New York person on the planet. She's smoking in the hospital, like, as she's on a ventilator. Like, come on.
Yeah. Ugh. Bad show.
All right, you guys have
Speaking of bad,
you have dueling opinions on the
Northman.
Northmen.
No!
Fight it out on top of a volcano. Well, maybe naked,
They
at
were
the very
naked.
least shirtless.
they were naked. I only saw shirtless. I didn't.
I also did not know they were naked until I saw an interview with Robert Eggers later on saying that during that scene they had to like scan their genitals and then have them wear thongs because it'd be too dangerous to have their dicks flying around swinging the swords. So the dicks are CGI dicks, but I did not see any dicks in that scene.
How do you listen to that interview and say, yes, this was a good movie that I enjoyed? That's so dumb.
It
bro.
was a good movie.
That's stupid.
It was fun.
That is
I had a good
dumb.
time. It was cool.
That was a dumb
No,
movie
it wasn't.
made for fucking chest thumping
No.
Aryan men's rights
No.
activists. Like, that was just literal toxic masculinity. The movie. It was not good. Like, it just really wasn't. I don't understand.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how much agency does future Princess Peach, Anna Taylor-Joy, have in this film?
Wait, is Anya Taylor-Joy gonna be Princess Peach?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
gonna have his
holy
kids and be the new
Wait.
queen.
I thought you
somehow?
meant in the
That doesn't make
Mario
fucking
movie.
sense. Oh, is she actually in the Mario movie too?
No, yeah, she's playing Princess Peach.
Holy shit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
A lot of
I mean,
overlap there.
that makes sense.
Wait, how much agency does she what?
Have.
2.
Oh, not a lot. It's a Viking movie. They're Vikings. They're bad people.
That's not an excuse. I knew you.
They're
were
bad
gonna say
people.
that. I was like, people are gonna say that it's a Viking movie, dude. It's an ancient Viking tale. Like, that's how it was told. Then don't make it. That's fine. It can exist as a legend that's fucked up and stupid. The Green Knight is a medieval tale. Guess what? They modernized it, made it a little different, made it more enjoyable for modern audiences. That's okay.
I'm a
I
modern
really like
audience.
the Green Knight.
I enjoyed it.
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree that I
don't think
enjoyed
that
it?
You are. I don't think you're a modern audience if you genuinely thought this was a really good movie. Because I don't know, man. That shit was. It really wasn't. Our hero is participating in a raid where all of the women are getting raped and all the children are
They
getting
call him out
murdered
for that.
and doesn't do anything
It's
about
because
it.
he's on drugs.
They don't really call him out. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't pay any negative consequences for it. Like, he's
He
just
feels bad.
he doesn't even try. He doesn't even put up a token effort to like save one kid. I thought that's what it was going to be. Like, one little boy that he's like, oh, that reminds me of me because I was attempted to be like brutally murdered by a Viking. So maybe he tries to save that one boy.
He had
and then that
completely lost
becomes-
himself. That was the whole thing. Is that he's just a fucking brutal murderer.
And then he kept being a brutal murderer. He didn't do anything
But to
different.
avenge
Like,
his bad dad, and then he realizes
who wasn't
his dad.
His uncle was
bad.
no worse than he was. His uncle was no worse than he was, or who his dad
exactly.
was.
And then he killed his mom and his brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then he feels bad
That's
about
a bad
it.
story.
It's revenge is bad.
No, that is not the takeaway of that fucking movie. Don't pretend that they went like, oh, because spoilers, Lucas. I don't know if you care.
I'm not gonna watch this.
Because they both die in the end, revenge is bad. They both fucking go to heaven. They both like get to just live their dreams in Valhalla. Like, no, that's not the fucking
Yeah, but his mom and his
takeaway.
brother
You
that he
cannot
killed
make
also
that
get to
argument.
go to Valhalla.
Yeah, exactly.
And he,
At the very,
I mean, okay, his little brother was innocent.
at the very
His,
least,
his
at
little
the
half brother was the only innocent in the whole movie.
and he saved him, and then he kills him.
Yeah, and then he murdered him.
Not
In
on
another
purpose. That was an
prom-
accident.
That was 100%
That was not
on
on
purpose.
purpose.
Was he defending himself? Yes, but that was he
He
intended to
threw
murder
him
that
off
kid.
his shoulder, and he literally fell on his
he used
sword.
his sword. He used his sword.
No,
to
he
throw
was
him
holding
off.
his sword in his right hand, and he like ripped him over his shoulder, and he literally fell on his sword.
Conveniently onto his blade. Yeah, no.
wait, hold
He
on.
knew he was killing him.
You're telling me a guy suplexes another dude onto his sword?
A kid.
A kid.
A
Yeah,
guy
his
judo?
own mom. His own mom is trying to murder him to protect her son. So he just like kills his mom. Like doesn't really give a fuck. Like he's just like, well, she's stabbing me. You're dead. And then the little boy jumps on his back while he's still like
processing,
like digesting the fact that he murdered his mom, and starts like stabbing him in the back. So yeah, he just grabs him and fucking like one fell swoop murders the shit out of this little 8-year-old boy who's been a genuinely like seems like he's actually on the way to being like a benevolent type king, like Hamlet was, like or Hamlet, like seemed like he was kind of on his way to being a more benevolent king and maybe being a little bit like in the right direction.
Lucas, this is probably a bad time to try to sway you to my side. I do really think you would like this movie. I think you would see this movie and you go like, oh, it's so fucking cool.
How do you legitimately shit on Lucas for anime having bad tropes and storylines that are problematic, and then watch the fucking Northman and not see any irony in the fact that you enjoy it in spite of all these really fucked flaws, and how you fucking know that there's a bunch of men's rights activists who really do think that is cool, and the Northman is a cool way to live, and that's where we should be. Yeah, that's
because men's rights activists like Vikings. Robert Eggers did not make this for white supremacists.
But they love it. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you can like Donald Trump supporters are going to say that he doesn't intend on Nazis like being his core audience, but they are. Doesn't that say something about it? Like, so like the fact that they do really appreciate what he's saying, like that says something about the media.
Is there at least some like gay Viking shit in there?
No.
What?
No, there's not even any like real homoerotic stuff in there.
The Vikings were hella homoerotic. What?
Yeah. There's no like shirtless wrestling. There's no like sparring against like someone who's more like at your level and you're kind of friendly.
There is some naked fighting.
No homoerotic
there's
shit.
A lot of naked fighting.
Naked fighting is not homoerotic inherently. Like, there's got to be some tension.
Yeah, there's a framing of this. You can add a male gaze to a man-on-man naked fight scene.
There's gotta be something beyond that. No, I was kind of shocked. I did not go into it expecting that from a movie made in 2022.
Lucas, we need you to be the tiebreaker, and I'm being honest.
This is going to be fascinating in the top 10s this year.
Shit's not going in the top 10s, man.
I don't know what to pivot to after this one, so I'm gonna go with something we can all be enthused about. The Bucks just trouncing the Celtics.
Yeah.
Giannis's self-performed alley-oop, which I want to shout out a Defector writer super quick, David Roth, who wrote about that game, that moment specifically in that game, and editorialized a little bit, but has the conjecture that Brook Lopez, upon witnessing that, Brook Lopez just scratching his head, almost in disbelief. That wasn't him not, being into the moment, not celebrating. That was a player closer to Giannis's caliber, witnessing that moment, and thinking as a professional basketball player, a top-tier professional basketball player, I'm witnessing something that shouldn't be happening right now. I'm witnessing... Yeah. If I ever have to play against Giannis Antetokounmpo in his current form, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I'm staring at an unsolvable problem, and by the grace of God and circumstance, don't have to address that. That's what was going...
Did you see Wesley Matthews, who got caught? There was like a camera that was focused on Giannis, but Wes Matthews was like going to run down the court to go play defense. And so his face is like taking up the whole frame, and you just get this like unadulterated, like, whoa, fuck, like just genuine, perfect, like an actor would kill to like convey that level of like disbelief in one like very like close framing of his face. Like
I saw that moment in Jade, who was not in the apartment, or like I said, "Oh my God, Jay, did you fucking see that?" And she wasn't there. My brain wasn't working.
Yeah, you had to. And then he took a charge at the other end, which was underrated because fucking we never got to see a replay of that shit. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the biggest, strongest guys in the NBA, just taking a picture perfect charge instead of trying to like contest a shot. Like, damn. But no, give it to Marcus Smart. That's the defensive player of the year. The fucking flop king of the world. Like, Drew Holiday is literally just better at what Marcus Smart does well, on top of being better at every other facet, like, and stronger and bigger. Like,
It is. There has maybe never been a better time in human history to be a Bucks fan. I am glad I can be a Bucks fan. Oh my God, Ryan's showing it. Ryan,
He's so perplexed.
He's just, he kind of looks like he saw a ghost.
this is.
It's like,
This
fuck,
is
I'm
why I
a free
like
agent after this.
No, not if he doesn't want to be. Wes Matthews has a fucking roster spot for life as far as I'm concerned. That man fucking locked up Jason Tatum. That is ridiculous. The quote-unquote best player of the playoffs so far got fucking iced by 35-year-old
Yeah,
Wes
I'm sorry
Matthews.
that Jason Tatum was able to score on the Nets that were famously, like, lacking a defense in any caliber.
Yep.
Incredible. Speaking of incredible, the first season of Peacemaker.
I saw it.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Watch the
I
whole
watched
thing.
the whole thing.
Fuck yeah, dude.
one day?
2 days. I watched the first 4 episodes Saturday night, and I watched the next 4 episodes Sunday morning.
I love it. My boys out there caked up watching good TV.
It's a good show,
Yeah,
right?
Huh?
I was waiting around because I was waiting for Jade to come back from something for a couple of hours, and so I'm like, I have HBO Max now, thanks to a friend. I'm gonna check out the first episode of a show that he was talking about, and I liked it, and so I watched 3 more hours of it, and then I woke up the next morning and watched 4 more hours of it.
That was quick.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure.
What?
In approximately 1 hour, the password to said HBO Max account will reset unless you agree to watch the HBO drama miniseries known as Chernobyl. You have 60 minutes to make your
Yes!
decision.
Oh, I love it. I love holding passwords hostage. Yes.
Hey.
Yes! Fucking please. One of you two.
Ugh.
If you can convince Lucas, like in the Civil War, how rich people would convince poor people to take their spot
No. It's
in
like
the
a
battle.
pyramid scheme. Yeah, Andrew, watching Chernobyl is good, but what's even better is convincing other people to watch Chernobyl.
I'm just saying because I want someone to fucking talk about it. It's possibly the greatest TV show ever fucking made, and no one has seen it except for Ian. Yeah, that's it.
Andrew,
That's all.
do you have any hot takes? Do you have any the moments from Peacemaker that really resonated with you, really stuck out to you as, yeah, this is great. This is good. I'm about this. Can't wait for season 2.
It was perplexing, man. Like, Peacemaker is such like a lovable idiot who's also just an objectively horrendous person, and is like someone that if I saw them and like heard the things that they would say, I would call the police and make up a crime that he did.
Yeah,
like
that is...
And you like him. It's fucked. It shouldn't be that way.
No, yes, that did strike me a little bit, and I have some complex feelings about the fact that Peacemaker is, in some regard, the straw man that Democrats, like, paint, like, some conservatives to be. Like, the people who are really like, no, we need to reach across the aisle, and we need to come together. Like, people who express conservative ideals, like, aren't fundamentally bad. They're just confused or don't know, and we gotta educate
they were
them.
raised bad. They can change.
And, like...
But that's the only way that you could make a hero with his circumstances in the modern era. He can't actually have convictions. He has to be pure innocence. Like, and that is the only reason he holds any of these beliefs is because he's never examined them.
Right.
And we wouldn't like him if it wasn't like that. So you wouldn't have a good TV show.
Yeah,
So,
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, obviously very funny, pretty relevant. Generally, some good writing.
Yeah. James Gunn is actually talented.
Equal parts affecting and stupid. I loved it.
Yeah. Can't wait for season 2.
Hell yeah.
Vigilante is one of the scariest characters I've ever seen.
Yeah. Vigilante whistling as he casually executes an entire family that you're like 90% sure are bad guys, but you're not 100% sure.
Oh, Billy Bear's out of commission. Oh, Mama Bear's out.
Vigilante is what Deadpool tries so hard to be.
Yeah.
With very little effort. Like, Vigilante doesn't have to go try hard mode. Like, he just is naturally like on Deadpool's level of like being real fucked. Like,
there's an old joke from the Justice League cartoon where Lex Luthor ends up in the Flash's body, and he's like, well, at least I can find out who the Flash's secret identity is, and then takes the mask off and is like, I don't fucking know this guy. And that's just Vigilante's old joke. He cares so much about it, and he is
no one cares.
What?
He's a nameless waiter at a shitty
like
restaurant.
I have to protect my identity, but people see his face all the time and it doesn't affect him.
Yeah,
because no one knows who he is.
It's the most unassuming approaching 30-year-old white guy. No, Vigilante is definitely highlight material.
Oh god.
But don't underrate Steve Agee's what's his name? I mean, Diebeard.
Oh,
yeah.
Economos.
What's the
Economos?
Yeah, he had a really weird name. Yeah, no, that fucking whole. I cannot believe that actually paid off, the Diebeard stuff.
Why is his beard
my jaw was on
look
the floor.
that way?
My jaw was on the fucking floor. And on any even marginally worse written show, it would be like, fuck.
It'd be so
you.
cringy.
Like you worked it backwards. This is so fucking terrible. But just because of the pure quality, they get away with it.
He gets redeemed so many times only to like just keep being such a total fucking loser. Like,
and you know he's gonna keep. He finally had his moment of absolution. He's season 2. He's still gonna be a piece of shit loser.
He's like, no, Adebayo, don't. You'll get hurt. Oh, fine. I guess I have to. Fucking breaks his leg in half.
Oh,
compound
God.
fracture.
I was paranoid about tripping for like a week after I saw that.
It was brutal. And it is actually accurate from everything I've heard about a compound fracture. How like those endorphins start running immediately. So it's just
God!
You look down and you are seeing the most horrific sight that you've ever seen in your entire life on your own body. Like, yeah. And I mean, I kind of had that to a much lesser extent when I fell and scraped the shit out of my knee. You could see literal bone. Like, ran the rest of the way, got back to the campfire, went, my knee stings a little bit, looked down and saw my own bone for the first time and went, that ain't good. That is not good.
So a piece of media all three of us have seen, and I think we'll have differing opinions on The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which I am going to describe as an action movie featuring a Nicolas Cage type. Because the more I think about this movie, the less integral I think Nicolas Cage actually was to it.
Mm-hmm.
They could.
No, Pedro Pascal was the MVP.
absolutely.
He fucking carried the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he acted circles around Nicolas Cage every time they were on screen together. And he was the whole engine. And Nicolas Cage was only funny when he was poking fun at himself.
Right.
And like I said, he didn't poke fun at himself all the way like we were kind of hoping he would. He only made a couple of jabs here and there.
I was not a fan of the third act. I thought it kind of fell apart a little bit.
Yeah, because they made it into like an action movie, which then they no, we called ourselves out for it, so it's fine. We got meta. No, that's not an excuse. You don't get to just say that and be excused.
I still really thought you guys would like this movie. I'm a little surprised.
No, I liked it. I liked it fine. It was genuinely funny.
Yeah,
and a lot of likable characters, and like the LSD set piece is gonna be one of my favorite moments from cinema this year for sure. Like. When Pedro Pascal looks back at the camera and his pupils are just fucking the size of his irises.
What if there was a really big
dilated
scene?
Whoever dilated his pupils needs a fucking raise, because that shit's amazing.
Do you want to trade shoes? What, like right now, straight up? Yeah, straight up. All right, yeah.
I can't run that fast because you give me your fucking stupid shoes.
Yes, you can. You're an incredible runner. You did that in National Treasure.
Those stunt doubles.
That was the stunt department.
Not according to the director's
not
commentary.
according to making a featurette.
And like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty. I think I'm neutral to positive on this film, but yeah, the more I think about it, the more it's like this movie works because they got Nicolas Cage. They could have invented a character who had essentially had Nicolas Cage's career, and it would have been about as effective.
That's kind of where I'm at, though. Where,
Yeah.
like, it's almost a hat on a hat. You don't need Nicolas Cage for the movie that they made, including the third act.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted that movie that they were talking about in the first half where, yeah, it's like a comedy about two unlikely people in a relationship. And, like, look, the CIA angle could have been there, but then, yeah,
Right.
the whole third act being devoted to this stupid kidnapping was dumb. And they said, that's for marketing. But, like, you have a movie about Nicolas Cage playing himself and, like, kind of making fun of the fact that he's a washed-up actor. Like, that's the marketing. You don't need the kidnapping part. Like, that's completely unnecessary, basically. So, yeah, like, if you want to make that movie instead, yeah, just cast another washed-up actor who could play a version of themselves, sort of thing. Like, it's...
I thought it was kind
Or
of
the
poking
fact that-
fun
okay.
at those kinds of movies. Like, I think they made the third act a Michael Bay movie on purpose to make fun of Michael Bay movies. I mean, even the scene
But they
he
poked
stabs
fun
the
at
guy
it.
and it pans out and there's the American flag. It's
Oh,
so
yeah, that was
on the
literally Michael
nose.
Bay.
Like
Mhm.
it. I don't think they just made that part of the movie. I think that was still a meta thing.
It's meta, but once again, you don't get away with stuff just because it's meta. Like, if it's not effective, it's not effective, basically. Like, I basically, like, if you wanted to satirize and you wanted to do a parody, you had it perfect with, once again, I hate to go back to it, the LSD set piece.
Mhm.
Like, that was perfect satire of, like, cutting back in the classic, like, there's just these two dudes eating ice cream, and, like, they've now built this up in their head that they're in on the conspiracy, and yeah, there's, like, fast cuts and fun action, and you're like, haha, they're mocking the concept of stupid action movies, like, without it necessitating actually having that plot built into the movie, basically. Like, that's just where I'm at. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone who saw this film and liked it to watch Seven Psychopaths, and if you come back to me and say that this is better than Seven Psychopaths, then we can have a discussion, because I just think this is worse Seven Psychopaths, because after Seven Psychopaths flopped, they said, well, no, it does actually have to be marketable to mass audiences. We can't just make a weird, fun meta movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Where
that won't sell.
Where I'll leave it for me is that this movie, at least to me, built itself as this is going to be a Nicolas Cage movie where he examines who he is in popular culture and his career and maybe confront some of that stuff. This movie wasn't that. I hope we get that movie someday, because Nicolas Cage is a genuinely fascinating individual, and I would enjoy a movie that's more about him than The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, that was one of my, when we were walking away, I was like, so it's clear that Nicolas Cage still has a little ego left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe in 10 years, he would actually be able to drop that ego and not pull any punches. But because there was only a couple,
Yeah,
Nicolas, only a couple, and they were padded jabs, like they weren't full on.
He's not quite in the back third of his career, but it's coming up.
I mean, when was the last thing that he was in before this, though?
Some Eastern European movie that he took to
the last
make
thing
money.
he was in before this was like 3 weeks ago. When they talk about him working too much, he is in so many movies.
And like,
I guess I'm saying, yeah. What was the last thing that was actually?
I mean, Pig is.
Commercially successful.
Oh no! I mean, Pig was not successful or mainstream. I heard it was a very good movie. But...
Mm-hmm. No, but like that's the thing about Nicolas Cage that makes him fascinating, because I genuinely believe that if he weren't Nicolas Cage, he'd still be like in local productions of stage plays or some shit. Like I don't know, maybe I'm misreading who he is as a person or buying too much into his public persona, but the craft of acting, he is way about that in maybe a not healthy way, and I wish the movie was bigger into that. How do we only have 10 minutes left on this call? That doesn't make sense. We gotta hustle up.
It's been an hour and 45 minutes of a podcast.
Everything Everywhere All at Once was fun. I enjoyed it more than The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I don't think I cared for the fact that the central antagonist was basically just a nihilistic Redditor, but I think other people would like that and should check it out. Andrew, what'd you think of Turning Red?
It was good. I mean, like, fine.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of Eastern animation influences in there. Thought that was fun.
Yeah. I want to draw a comparison between these two. Between Turning Red and Everything Everywhere All at Once, well-intending Asian dads are just eating right now. A lot of good PR for them. A lot of movies that are doing well, painting them in a positive light, and good on them. Can we talk about the first and second episode of the third season of Barry? Are we up to date on that?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I am.
This is so fucking good, guys.
It's fucked.
Really? I didn't really like
No,
the second
I did not
episode.
like
Really?
the second episode at all.
Yeah, I thought the second episode was a big step backwards for the series. I really enjoyed the premiere and thought it was very promising.
What
Was not a fan of
I loved them both. What did you guys not like about the second episode?
I think all the characters are
Most of the
they're stepping
characters
backwards.
regressed. Yeah. Like there was a ton of regression. The story wasn't going forwards, it was going backwards to where it was. Like we got to this point, and rather than moving forwards, it feels like now we're going back to a point that we've already
We're doing
been
it
to.
again,
Fuchs
but
is
worse.
just gone.
Right. And I don't mean worse as in like worse done. I mean like we're doing all the same things again, but this time it's hitting everyone harder. It's like, but
right, this time everyone's even more unhinged and like in a worse mental place.
I'm not saying that I think it's a
I don't think it was bad.
Right.
I just thought it represented a low point in the series potentially.
I get
like
not that funny. I didn't think the second episode was very funny.
Second episode was not that funny.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
but that doesn't mean I enjoyed it not being funny.
I did genuinely laugh when NoHo Hank's boyfriend, whose name is escaping me, I'm sorry, like
Cristobal
50-50
with Cristobal.
50
dumped
Cristobal.
Like dumped him and left. And that sequence took like 45 seconds longer than it should have.
Staring at the car.
It was
really
like NPR too. He was like, "I'm
Yeah,
here
no, it was
with
NPR,
Justin
talk radio.
Tiller, and he's going to tell us about this thing."
Yeah,
That was fun. I laughed at that.
It was genuinely funny. I really liked the first episode. I thought it was setting up a lot,
Right.
and then the second episode was like a dip in expectations that I hope that they can recover from. Where is Fuchs? Like I didn't realize how important Fuchs was until he was missing from the second episode. He was in the first episode. It was good, and it was like, oh,
he's in
coming
Chechnya.
back. More promise.
He's being held hostage, so he can be a fall guy.
Right, but I'm saying they got to get him back. Like I didn't realize how much of a key part he was to this series and the whole dynamic between. All the characters are very disconnected, which I don't like. Like all their storylines aren't interacting in the same way that they used to. Like
Barry, like focused most of the second season trying to overcome his urge for violence, and then he just completely let that go this season. And him like screaming at his girlfriend and then being like, "What?" Like that wasn't the thing. It was just
I actually thought that was a really powerful scene, and in some ways kind of a commentary on like abuse and mental health, because like everyone
doesn't have to be Barry though. That doesn't have to be the main character that we follow and have been rooting for and have been trying to see
Barry's
develop.
always been incredibly
be him.
flawed, super fucked up, and like most of the time scary, but like always empathetic to a degree. Barry has not been empathetic the last two episodes.
No, so like in that scene, I thought that was kind of a commentary on like how we talk about abuse and what kind of behavior we label as that, because in that moment as an audience, we know that like Barry's kind of having a mental break. And like the fact that everyone in this room immediately jumps to, this is an abusive asshole. It's like, that's fair. That's fair that they go there, but it's never like, there's never a question of, is this guy okay? Like those characters in that moment.
I don't think that was meant to be the takeaway. It was meant to be a direct parallel to the fact that she's writing a story about a woman overcoming abuse while being abused
and like just rationalizing everything.
And yeah, exactly. Just doing the thing that she's claiming that she's overcome and moved past. Like she did in the last season. Right. That was her whole struggle, was that she was lying. Like she lied the entire time throughout the whole story. And then that's why she landed the show.
And now she rushed home with spaghetti and a new Xbox controller so that Barry wouldn't be mad.
Right.
Like, it's fucked.
I don't think the takeaway was meant to be, like, reflecting on Barry. It was meant to reflect on Sally. And I was just like, but so now, like, I can't
I think there's
see Barry the same way anymore. Like,
no, like, that's totally
and
fine.
And is Barry okay? Barry's
reading.
A murderous psychopath who's about to murder another person if he can't, like, justify it in his own head.
Yeah.
Well, and his son and grandson. Yeah, no, like... I don't think that we're supposed to ask, is Barry okay?
Because we know he's not okay.
He's not, and he never will be. Barry's a broken human being who, like, we were hoping could maybe find it, like, peace and stop killing people, but, like, knew would never be 100% on the level.
No, Barry does not care about, like, and it was always kind of a struggle for him, but, like, now we figured out Barry does not care about being a good person. Barry cares about being happy at anyone's expense. He does not care about other people anymore. I
disagree. He's only doing this so that, like, he can try to be a good person. He can make amends to Mr. Kusino. He can earn that forgiveness and be a good person.
But he doesn't want to do that so that Mr. Kusino will be okay. He's doing that so that he doesn't have to feel bad about it anymore.
Right. He's doing it for his own sense of sanity and well-being.
Why is having a mental break?
People with mental illness can still be bad people. Like, that's
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying. Is just that you can't, instead of assuming that Barry is well intentioned and is genuinely trying to get better, because it was always a question of, like, is he just doing this because he's chasing his own wants and desires, or is he doing it out of a sense of genuine, like, no, I am chasing self-actualization and chasing being a better person. And in episode 2, it became increasingly obvious that no, it's the latter. He just wants to be or the former. He just wants to be happy. He doesn't care about other people. He doesn't want to be a good person. He only wants to be a good person when it aligns with him being happy. So,
I mean, the fact that we can have
was set up at the end of the first episode.
Right.
No, look, it's a deep show.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm not saying the episode was bad. I just thought it represented a kind of low point in the series for me.
Even the fact that we can have this conversation and walk away with such different impressions of what's going on is a testament to how good this show is. Like it is. There's a lot going on here, and, like, it is fantastic that the show is out and doing well, and I appreciate that in a sea of mediocrity that is television. Now we're running out of time. I don't think I even have time to do the outro, so thank you all for listening to episode 182 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast. Shout out to our patrons, Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, Sensual Richard Nixon. Have a good one. Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye.